Hello, I'm Phil Levin, and today we are preparing Charoset. Charoset is a dish used in Passover services. Charoset is one of the most important dishes in Passover. It represents the mortar, the material used when the Jews were forced to build the temples, the pyramids for the Egyptians. So we chop this up, but it also is a very sweet thing to show that this is a happy holiday, that we were able to be liberated from the Egyptians in slavery. So it's involved a very delicious salad. It's a takeoff of the ward-off salad with apples and honey and a lot of really delicious ingredients that we're about to show you. You'll notice I'm wearing a yarmulke. I don't usually wear yarmulkes, but that's to bless the food. These are dates. Now, dates are really tasty, they add sweetness, but they're also reminiscent of the time in Israel where dates are native to the Mideast, and so that makes it particularly, gives a sense of realism and a sense of history to the Charoset. So we're going to start off by chopping the dates. As you can see, I have a bowl of dates. I'm not going to use all these dates. There's a lot of dates. I had a date once, ended up marrying the girl. So you got to be careful with dates. We're having 18 people at our Passover table this year. So we'll be having to make quite a bit of salad here. I have to chop these in very small pieces to make sure that they're edible. It takes a while. This is the hard part of cooking. Everybody knows that. It's chopping, and making them small enough to make edible pieces. The idea is to just give it a lot of flavoring. They should have automatic choppers. I think they probably do if you lived in a kitchen with automatic stuff. These are pecans. They add a bit of crunchiness to the ward-off salad, the Charoset. As you can see, these are already chopped, but I'll be chopping them even finer in smaller pieces for the salad. And so pour out a good handful of pecans and get the chop going. Bop, 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 bop. Gotta do it to rhythm. When I was a child, one time we were making peanut butter. We put a whole bag of peanuts into the blender and swirled them around, and we poured it out. There was one completely whole peanut that had got in the middle in the whirlpool, and everything else was a solid peanut butter, and then there's one peanut left. It was very weird. Now we're going to put these pecans into the ward-off salad, into the Charoset. There we go. Okay. When you're cooking, you need to wash your hands frequently. I washed my hands before we started, and I washed my hands again. I just touched the food. All right, 2 ingredients down. We have one more ingredient to chop. That's the apple. I'll wash it off. So make sure the labels are off. This is the apple. I particularly like this Honeycrisp apple. It cuts well and tastes really sweet. Apple, you can scrub it with a little nice clean sponge, get the chemicals that they use to keep it safe off.
How many apples do you want?
At least 4 or 5, probably 6. And here are the apples all ready to be chopped up. And you can see that I have the cores out and the slices of apples, and soon I'll be pulverizing the apples. So there's a story that people know about Johnny Appleseed. And Johnny Appleseed was a real person. He went around the country planting apple seeds, and they grew the apple orchards we have all across the country right now. It was a true story. People think it's a fable, a children's tale, but actually it really happened. He was American hero. Trouble with apples is an apple a day keeps a doctor away, so I have a hard time staying in the house while I'm chopping apples. All right, now we're done with apple chopping. We're going to take all these apples. We have this big old pitcher here, and we're going to put that in with the nuts and the dates. And then we're going to take all these apples and put those in with the nuts and the dates and the other apples. Big tub, apples, nuts, dates. Now we're ready for the next ingredient, which is the honey. Honey. This is the honey. Honey, of course, is really the sweetest ingredient. That's what gives the Charoset this really nice flavor that everybody loves to eat all that Charoset. This particular brand is from Louisiana. We like to use local honey. Honey. Yes, honey. That's you. Take this part off here so we can open it up. All right. Here's the honey. Here's the Charoset. Here's the honey. Here's the Charoset. And we're going to use about half the honey. That's a lot of honey. The honey helps keep it fresh. We like to make our Charoset about several days, up to a week before the event. That way it can really marinate well. This is Manischewitz wine. It's a Jewish wine, and it comes in different flavors: Concord grape, cherry, blackberry. This is a cherry. It's one of my favorite. We'll be using this to make the Charoset taste particularly sweet. In fact, I think we'll have a little sample. We need to make sure it's good wine before we put it into the bottle. So hold on, let me get a glass. For the wine, first off, we have to sample it, make sure that it's not poisoned. It smells like cherries. L'chaim. There's a blessing over the wine we say at Passover too. I didn't say it, but I'll say it right now. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei pri hagafen. Praise be thou, O Lord our God, King of the universe, who has commanded us to drink the fruit of the vine. Wasn't that great? God commanded us to drink wine. It's in the Torah. So we put in some of this wine, about half the bottle. Yeah.
More. You want it to be swimming in it.
We want it to be swimming. I think a little more.
No, you should put the whole bottle because it swims in it, because it's going to be staying in the refrigerator for a week.
We're going to put the whole bottle in. That's the opinion of the assistant chef there. So now we get a spoon and we stir it on up. Get those dates and those nuts. I wonder if we have enough dates or nuts in there. And I almost forgot the cinnamon. The cinnamon is so important. As I mentioned before, it has a lot of sweetness and taste to it. Let's see if I can get this one open. This is ground cinnamon. It adds a nice little tang to the Charoset, helps keep it fresh while we're letting it marinate, and adds a little bit of brown coloration as well. So it has a lot of value. Cinnamon is also really good for you in many ways. Cinnamon. Oh, that smells so good. I love cinnamon. You don't want to use too much, but you don't want to use too little either. There we go. That'll give it a nice brown coloration, a wonderful taste to it. Stir it on in there. Wow. This reminds me of my grandson when he put cinnamon on his French toast. He put a lot of cinnamon. All right, so this is for 18 people. I think it's probably going to be about right. Because it's so delicious, people gobble it up. I make my own Haggadah. This means a prayer book. And the eating of the Charoset comes on page 20, at which time we mix it with the bitter herbs, which is horseradish, and make a sandwich with the matzah. So then you can just eat it as a salad later after that. There's a picture. So we're going to have a great Passover. Sorry you can't be here, but we have videos for you to watch about our Passover service. All right, boy, that really looks good. I think I'm going to taste this. You want to taste? All right, here we go. Wow. That's really good Charoset. See you next Passover. Let's say in the services next year in Jerusalem.